Hello everybody, welcome to Blue Cat Art. I've been a bit busy with Christmas commissions, but I've managed to squeeze this little video in for you so that you can have a bit of fun yourselves over Christmas. As I promised, I'm doing a small quick video on how to get your image that you want onto the material and make it stay there so it's easy for you to work around. So I'm going to be using a product today called Trace Down. It comes in lots of different sizes, lots of different colours. It looks expensive, but it's not overall. One sheet can last me 6 months plus, and I do a lot of work. So you know, it could last you well over a year, one pack, without having to buy any more. So it's not overly expensive in the long run. So I've picked my material. I have my black linen, which is a little bit of a favourite for me, and especially at the moment because I'm doing these puss cats. So I want to make sure that they're all reasonably the same. Now I'm doing it in a horizontal fashion, this one, instead of vertical. So I've just used a little bit of masking tape to stick it to my board. Now I'm using a board because it suits me. You can do it on the kitchen table, do it on your lap. It really doesn't matter where you do this. I have printed off my image. Look at that, it's going to be nice, isn't it? And I'm so looking forward to needle felting this, really am. But so I've put material on the board, and then I want to place my image so it's dead center, because I want to have enough material on all 4 sides to be able to frame it without worrying that I don't have enough material to get it on the frame. So again, masking tape, I'm just going to stick that down. You want it to be, you can't stick it down in 4 places. But you do want it so it doesn't move, because if it moves and you're halfway through, it's virtually impossible to find your place again. So I've put that too low. Equally, you want the back to move, the bottom side to move, but not the top. So I'm just going to make sure that's well and truly, and masking tape is good for this. It's not going to leave any marks on the material that you don't want. It's easy to take off, easy to put on, and it's cheap. You can pick it up in the pound shop for £1. So let me just alter that a little bit. It's not 100% straight, I know, I apologise, but I really need to find a better way to do this. These little bits here, they're sunspots, so sadly we've got the winter sun, which is really low. Anyway, the Trace Down comes in like these really thin sheets, and with the white it's difficult to tell which side is which, so you can do a little test piece with your fingernail on a bit of paper and you can pretty much work out. You can see how many lines are on this. So I'm just going to put that in underneath my image. So as you can see on here, it's in between the image and my material. Now it's very messy stuff, so try not to lean your hand on the paper too much, because otherwise you're just going to end up with big white splodges everywhere. And it does come off, but obviously the more splodges with your hand marks, the less you can see the lines that you really want to see. Now I'm just using an ordinary plain pencil. reasonably sharp, but I don't want it too sharp, but I want it sharp enough that I can get me detailed bits in. And for me, I generally just do the basic. I don't do every single little mark. I just want to get the basic image down. So my ears and my nose and my teeth, they're all in the right place, and you don't look at it and think, it looks a bit squiffy. Now I use this rather than freehand because it's quicker. I do a lot of commissions and I don't have time to spend a whole day sketching it out so it looks just right. This takes me 20 minutes and it's so much quicker to do. So I'm going to start at the bottom where I won't normally start, but then I can show you how it leaves a mark on the paper. Now you want to be reasonably firm, but you don't want to go through the paper. So I'm just going to run the pencil down. Hopefully you can see that. You can see I've got a tooth and a line, and you've got a tooth and a line, and you can see where the paper is already, where the creases in the material, paper's already left a mark. But don't worry about that, we can get rid of that. So you can go back over it again if you want, just to make it really, really stand out. So there's your tooth. Now I'm going to go round and do all of this. So I'm just going to put a little quick pause on, otherwise you're going to be bored stiff watching me, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've pretty much done all of it. I'm just going to finish this little bit here on the nose, and I don't want to put every single detail in because that isn't necessary. I can do that with the wool and by eye. I just want to make sure that everything is in the right place and as it should be. I'm not going to worry about the whiskers, because if you know me, the whiskers are done with feathers, and I will probably show you later how to do that. And I think that is pretty much all I need to put on. I've got the teeth, the tongue, the basic dark shapes that I want to make sure are all in the right place and have the right dimensions, so I don't end up with one eye bigger than the other, or one nostril bigger than the other, or the nose in the wrong place. So okay, so I've done that. Now before I take it off completely, I'm just going to pull the paper out and just double check that I have 2 eyes, a nose, teeth, mouth, 2 ears. Yep, I've got everything there. Okay, so put my trace down away, and I can now lift this off the material. I try not to rip the paper because I do like to keep these as a really quick handy reference when I'm felting, so sometimes it's easier just to wrap the tape back over your image. Okay, so we now have a very blurry looking mess, which is quite normal. It's quite normal, so don't panic. Now before I go round taking off all these extra bits, and this is just a bit of blue tack, and it lifts it all off really, really nicely without leaving a mark, as you can see. Before I go around and taking all that off, I want to make sure I have my image in the right place. So I am using, she says, I didn't get it out and now I cannot find it. Oh, there it is. I'm using just a white gel pen. You can buy them anywhere, really easy. Give it a bit of a shake, just make sure you get all that fluid going, because you know what gel's like, is a bit of pain in the neck. So I'm going to use that, and then I have just a plain piece of paper that I'm going to put my hand on, because I don't want my hand to rub out the lines. Now I'm right-handed, so I'm going to start at the top right, if you can see, I hope you can see, and I'm just going to go over the lines that I've made with this gel pen. And you have to sort of, you do have to give it a bit of a thorough going over. And like all gel pens, you get to the point where it stops working, so you have to take it off, give it another shake, and then that gives you the ink back. Okay, so I'm just going to put you on pause a moment. Okay, so I've pretty much gone over most of the white lines. If you're not sure if a white line that you see is supposed to be there, then just quickly refer back to the trace that you've just done to the print, and you'll see whether it's supposed to be there or not. And at the end of the day, if you put it on and you don't need it, it doesn't matter, does it? Because you're covering it up. But be careful when you do the outer edges, because if you go too far down the neck and you don't intend to felt all the way down there, it's difficult to get it off the material without leaving a permanent mark. So, but of course, as we're doing this, the wall's just going to cover it, so you know, it's not a necessity. So I think I've pretty much gone over everything. Double check yourself. You can see the difference. It does stand out a lot more. And you can always go over something again if you're not quite sure. And then go back to your blue tack and just dab it on. You can even be a little bit rough if you want. And it will take off all the excess marks that you've got, so that you don't get totally confused at a later date with what you're doing. Okay, so this is everyone does it differently. There's lots of different methods for putting your image onto material or paper. I mean, this can be used for any surface you like, really. As I said, it comes in different colours, the trace down. It comes in white, blue and black. So obviously if you're using a different coloured material like white, white wouldn't be a very sensible colour because you won't see it. But you have the blue and the black, and they can be quite dark. So do a test piece first to make sure you haven't ruined your fabric by going too much with it. And that's pretty much it. That is the basic image, and it will now go onto my frame. And I'm not going to do another tutorial on the eyes on this one, because the eyes are pretty much closed. But I will be doing various other bits as I go along with it, so you can have a bit of fun and watch. If there is something in particular you really want to see, like fluffy ear or tooth or something like that, then please message me. There's a little message box at the bottom, so you can just pop in a little message and I can then make sure that I do a tutorial of that for you. If however I've already done that part of the body, then or face, I apologise, and I will do it on the next one. Okay, I hope you found it useful, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all soon. Stay safe, stay well, bye.